All right. Hey, hello everyone. It is I, Deck, and we are back. Finally, it is my time to host, and I'll be your host for the next few hours at the very least. So I am very happy to present you with our next runner. Our next run is Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast 80% by alnak. Alnak, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
All right, thank you, Deck. What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a good time. My name is Alnak, and today I'm gonna show you this game, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. So, before we jump right into the game, I'm gonna just explain quickly a few of the mechanics that this run has. If you haven't seen this game before, this is a shooter. You can just change your perspective from time to time. It starts with guns, but also you can have lightsaber and also force powers, which are gonna become really important later in the run. So this game is built in the Quake 3 engine, so you are familiar with runs of the Quake 2 and Quake 3, you know that there's a cool thing we can do here in order to move faster. This is a normal speed, it's nothing to write home about, but what we can do here is do the straight jumping, and this is what we do in 90% of the run. The straight jumping, bunny hopping, kangaroo tech, whatever you want to call it, that's gonna be like we're gonna see like from the beginning until the end of the run. Alright, so time starts out when I take control of my character here, and we can just run into the game. So I'll give you the countdown, and 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so the first skip, we had this companion here, Jan. She's like a girlfriend, partner in crime, waifu, whatever you wanna call it. We're gonna lag her behind in order to move through the game. So the first shortcut is right over here. And now, if we do a series of straight jumpings here, we can just go right into this part. And in this section, there's a few windows we can just... Luckily, because this one it doesn't have a window attached to it, we can just go straight into the center of the level and skip a huge sections where... scripted sections where we can just talk with your companion. You have to bring your companion to several areas and stuff, but we skip all of that and we can just go straight into the main like room on this level. Now, you are supposed to find like a lot of codes in order to put here in this console, but they never change, so if you know them by off memory, you can just put them right away, and that skips like the whole level. This level's like super long. These maps are quite big, where you can just skip them like right away. Alright, so now we get into the second level, and this is pretty much like the run in a nutshell. Tight corridors, very close areas when you have to move like really quickly around it. With your straight jumping, of course. There's enemies that are gonna start body blocking you, stuff like that. You need to be very careful to try not to get blocked in this time, of course. So this level is pretty chill, so I can just talk about what we're doing right here. Our main character is called Kai Katarn. He's like the de facto protagonist of this series. And in the previous game, Mr. the Sith, he was tempted by the dark side. And before that, he used to be a Jedi with force powers and all that jazz. But he was turned to the dark side, and he decided to quit being a Jedi. So he pretty much got rusty in his force powers. So at the beginning of this game, we are only doing we only had our guns and explosives. So it's like pretty much like your run-of-the-mill shooter, at least for the first levels. As the game goes along, we're gonna start like unlocking force powers, and those are gonna be consistently important in the speedrun. But for now, we just have our guns, and we had to like just play the game as any other shooter. This part is kinda cute. We have this little droid, this mouse droid, we can just have to use in order to progress with the level. So you're pretty much like moving a straight line here until we get to this button. If we can activate this, and we can just get out of this room. We can pass this room. Now, you know, levels over here, and we can just go to a level that we skip a lot of stuff. This one is important. This is a really good speedrunning level because we have to do this part really quickly. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is take a little bit of a detour because I need to grab a gun, which is this one, the Wookiee Bowcaster. And right after this, I'm gonna do something that doesn't look that much of a skip, but we can actually skip a ton of stuff like that by doing a straight jumping like that across the river of acid. That skips a huge section. Now, why I mentioned that this level is important to be fast is because of this section over here. This there's like a moving or floating car that I need to catch up in order to ride it. So we're gonna go here, and if you're quick enough, I can just go here and ride this card as soon as it shows up. And the cycle of the card is the cycle of this thing is it starts right from the beginning of the level, so you gotta be quickly as soon as you start the level. Otherwise, you miss the card, and in order to wait for the second one, you have to spend a lot of time waiting. I cannot remember how long it was, but I remember just that it was really slow. So we have to walk with these escapes right now, and here I guess I can show the bowcaster. This gun is like really important for the run because it can pretty much one-shot enemies. It's way more accurate and deals more damage than the blaster rifle, which is like really inaccurate. So we want to grab it like right away because we want to kill a few enemies. Like for example, this is stun troopers. You can just shoot them with one or two shots. This is way more efficient than using the blaster. This part, we need to kill a few enemies in order to progress with the level. I use explosives there to kill them quickly. I miss a few though, so I'm gonna kill them right away, and we can just progress. And alright, so this is sort of shortcut we can do here. This one, it features like movement buffering with your quick saving and quick loading. So if I align myself perfectly here, I hold the forward key, and if I quick and load, the momentum carries over to the loading, and we can just get an extra boost there in order to make it to the shortcut. Alright, this level. And this level is a really long level, there's not much going on. Once again, I'm going to use this gun to try to clear a few enemies. I'm going to be blocking me when I get my way back here. I need to activate this door so I can kill enemies. So the stun troopers, or any enemy in this game, it had two weak points. It had the heads. The head, of course, you can land a few headshots of enemies, but also, for some reason, the knees are also lethal for them. So we use what we call here like we like to call in the community Skyrim strats, because we just start shooting enemies and the enemies in order to like kill them, make short work of them. And of course the knees are like have bigger hitbox, so it's way easier to land a few shots here. So now we have to climb all the way back up, and in this part you have to like try to strain jump. You just spam your jump key precisely, you can like do this hop super quickly and try to move really quickly over the stairs. Alright, so we activate this door, we can now progress to the next part. You need to go all the way down here, and as I said, enemies are... Since you aggro a bunch of enemies, they're gonna start running towards you, so they're gonna start probably looking really badly there. And we have our first little breather in the run. We had this cutscene here. One thing about this game is that dialogues can be skipped, and not this one in particular, only skip like a few lines, but in the rest of the run you can skip dialogue by saving and loading in this game. Like in other PC games, you can quick save and quick load anytime you want, and that's allowed in the run. And in this case we can abuse it in order to like skip a few sections. Alright, so in this part there's one little trick we can do. There's a free fall we can do, and we are supposed to die. But if we have a lava region, we can just do a free fall like this. And if I land in a perfectly part, I can like take full damage there without dying. I take like 95. I think it's 95 or 95 fall damage, and I don't die. I am also carrying like what's called back the tanks. They function as kind of like medkits or potions, if you want to call it. They restore a few amount of your health, and I can carry like 5 of them at the same time. And those are gonna become really handy because they're gonna be in a few levels in the future where I'm gonna take a lot of HP from fall damage or enemies that get lucky and they shoot me really, and they make I start losing a lot of HP. Alright, so I'm gonna put it closer here just to clear this path, so when I go back it's not much of an issue. And then we have our very entertaining part, this part. Oh my god, this is such a snooze fest. So we have a score section here. We take this enemy hostage and we need to move him to the next area, and this section is super slow, like because this guy moves like super slow. It's not an auto-scroller, it's worse, because I need to like aim to this for this guy every single time in order to move. If I need to put my crosshair in front of him in order to move. If I look away, he starts moving. So I need to like actually pay attention to this part. So normally this is the part where I usually like just take a little breather. I guess it's a good time for donations if you have any of them. So take it away, Deck.
Thank you. Also, I really enjoy this part, by the way. But I think I'll use this moment to actually remind everyone that this year we have limited edition merchandise available on the Save the Children Stream Elements store. That includes hats, t-shirts, hoodies, mouse pads, and mugs. And all proceeds go directly towards Save the Children. So if you'd like something in exchange, please check it out. Thank you.
We're almost done now. There's one cute strat we can do here with this guy. Involves explosive boosting. So for the last stretch of this section, I'm gonna do a little bit of explosive boosting in order to make this guy move a little bit quicker. So I'm gonna wait until he gets to the next part, which is right over here. I'm gonna place a mine on the floor, and this guy's gonna get knocked forward, and that's makes things a little bit easier. Unfortunately, you can only do it once, otherwise the guy dies. So we take what we can here. All right. Now I'm gonna introduce something very interesting in the run. It's like cutscene entering. We have a key, and where we can pretty much refresh our graphics settings. And if I do it during a cutscene, we can enter cutscenes. And we're gonna use it here to escape a huge section of this turret section. So I'm gonna do this and destroy the ATST here. You are not supposed to fight the ATST here. Okay, I got super unlucky with the prisoners. I need to be more careful there.
I'm on it.
There we go. So I have no very good setup for this. There we go. So I need to kill this 2 ATST in order to progress with the level here. And as I said, since we are inside the cutscene, the ATST shows up super early. Oh my god. Okay. I was expecting that to happen like later, but I guess since it happens now, we can just restart the level once again. So entering the cutscenes is gonna be very important in the run because we're gonna do it for several sections to move faster. Okay, let's try this again. So we need to go here, destroy it, for some reason destroy this turret, and do the jump here, the slow jump over here. You're supposed to use an elevator there to go up, but with the geometry there, you can just do it. There we go. Okay, now we're good to go. So let's keep a huge portion of the turret section where you have to like kill a bunch of enemies, but we can just move forward. Now, for some reason, in the version I'm playing right now, there's a small chance that I'm gonna game over and have to restart the level all over again if the prisoners die. Hope that doesn't happen. But we're gonna concern that if that happens. All right, so this part is quite tricky. There's a few jump things that you can do here. Also need to destroy the ATST that's over here. It's really important here they have a regen, like the back tanks, those things that you saw there, because otherwise I can kill by the ATST. What are you doing? So I need to kill this guy here. He has the key to move here and go to the part and go back up in order to destroy the turrets that need to destroy. I'm gonna grab the extra kill just in case here. So this part's kinda loud. There's like 20 or so enemies shooting at you, so it gets a little bit loud. It's only for this section though. And so yeah, as I said, you can shoot the enemies here and they die really quickly. That's pretty convenient. That's why this gun is like, we need to get this gun like right from the get-go, as soon as it's available. Alright, so we need to destroy here the turrets and we are done. Now, something very important up here is that at the end of this level, we're gonna be introduced for the final boss of the game. And this is one of the sections that he's a Dark Jedi. And of course, we don't have our sports powers, so we're gonna get wrecked. Which means that this is a scripted death. And one important thing you have to be here is that being very super low health in order to like die quickly, which is I'm not doing a very good job right now. But yeah. That's the final boss. We are supposed to die there, so if you are super low on health, you can just die quickly there. Alright, so Kyle here took the beating. He decided to go to Luke's Jedi Academy to try to retrain in the ways of the Force. So we're gonna go visit Luke here. This level is just a little intermission in between like the main levels, and we're gonna go straight here into once again another cutscene, and once again we're gonna refresh our settings in order to enter the cutscene, and this is gonna first of all it's gonna leave us here, otherwise we'll be standing right in that hallway, and also this allows us to open this door as well. And now we're gonna go into the first roadblock in this run, and it's one of the mayor's escapes. So we're gonna head towards the main tutorial in this game, which is the part where we are introducing in our force powers. There are gonna be several puzzles that we need to, or we're gonna start unlocking force powers, and we're gonna do puzzles, and we have to use that set power in order to progress. Like for example here, this is force push. It's pretty useful in the run because it can allow you to knock down enemies and of course clear a few paths. That's the first puzzle. And this is pull, and we don't use much this pull in runs. It's pretty useful to grab the guns from enemies if I want to do that. And we are heading towards the first major escape. We are gonna go straight to the final puzzle of this level by doing a certain few movements. There's gonna be a stone pillar that's gonna go up in towards the last puzzle. So we had to, if we do a series of jumps here, we can go straight to the top of this column and try to ride it, so to speak, like this. So this trick is quite precise. You have to line in a certain part in order to get like the boost here. You need to. Let's see what happens. I had to land in that little like peg or lock, and it's too early. And there's also a little bit of timing involved, so this is gonna take a few tries probably. And this is gonna work. No, it's too risky. I need to be like in the side of the cage there, because otherwise, if I go back up without opening the cage, I had to do the puzzle as intended. This looks good, so we move a little bit back, we can just open the cage like this. And also here's a lightsaber, which is the main reason why we are here. And that skips like the several puzzles that we had to do otherwise as intended. Alright, and now we can just continue. So now we're going to North Shara. These levels are quite tricky as well. This one in particular as well as it can be very difficult sometimes if you are super low in health. Once again, there's a few dialogue here. If we use saving and loading, we can skip like most of the lines. And again, I'm gonna enter another cutscene here to skip this section. We are supposed to be. This is like kind of like a trap. We're gonna be locked here, and we have to do a few things in order to like get out of this cantina. But since we entered the cutscene, we can just go out right away. And oh, this is better than luck. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. There's a cool jump you can do here. Okay, so it's not gonna work. Well, then we're gonna use the backup here. We're gonna bring this enemy here. This is where pull comes in handy. We can have this guy just come on the way. I got a guy just throwing grenades on me. Look at he doesn't like when I with the grenades here. We can jump here and skip this section over here. Like this. I can jump here. Like that. And now we can just go here. This guy is being annoying. I'm gonna kill you. Or not letting me do the proper skip there. And we can jump here. That's the first shortcut we can do in this level. There's another shortcut coming on next that involves using straight jumping once again. First I want to kill this guy. I want the bowcaster. That weapon is so good, I cannot miss it. It's gonna be useful in the next level. Oof. Okay. What happened there is that the cutscene ended, so now I'm inside the gameplay, technically. So there's a shortcut we can do here, jump like this, and right here, and we can just go straight into this cart. And now this is the very difficult part. There's several snipers shooting at me right now, and I need to try to dodge his attacks. So we have to make it all the way to the end of that part. We have to get inside that compartment there. Okay, I'm getting. Ooh, I think we're doing fine. Yes, we're fine. Okay, yeah, that part can be really tricky. That part is a nightmare if you play on a higher difficulty. because those enemies can one-shot you or at most like two-shot you, but in this difficulty, it's not much of an issue.
What is that smell?
But luckily, because we have our back buttons there, we can just heal up. So on this level, we have to go here and find our buddy Lando. He's gonna help us with our mission here. He's right over there. He's locked. We're gonna try to free him, and we're gonna do that in this next room. There's other shortcut you can do here. You do a series of jumps and you land right on the edge of that trash container. You can just jump to the second floor quickly, rather than using another way slower strat. All right, in this section we had to do shoot a few enemies. It's really important that I had a gun that I picked up in the previous levels, otherwise it would be a nightmare to try to do it without it. And in order to make things easier for me, once again, I'm gonna enter this cutscene. These turrets like are over here supposed to be moving, but since we are inside the cutscene and the cutscene is playing, they are just standing still, and we can just destroy them quickly. This is gonna open a door. It's gonna be a few enemies here. I can just kill them by using grenades. Also, one thing about this is that when I'm inside the cutscene, I don't take any damage, which is quite beneficial. So that's the reason why I don't took any damage with those grenades. And now we are hitting. Also, you saw there that I kind of like spawned somewhere else there. That's because of the cutscene. When you finish the cutscene, it brings you back to your supposed initial position. So you can abuse that there in order to like move a little bit faster. All right, this level. This is somewhat of a score section. We free Lando. Now he's gonna help us escape this planet. And we have to wait for him to move in certain areas in order to progress. Now, for example, here. Unfortunately, you cannot do much about this. You cannot push him, for example, to try to move him faster or use explosive. Unfortunately, we had to wait for him to move normally. And in this level, we're gonna introduce another thing that's very interesting about this run, and it's related with audio channels. So I'm gonna stick my saber into this wall. This is gonna play a little sound where the sparks are showing. For some reason, this little sound effect overrides the dialogue that happens in that conversation, and that allows you to once again skip a dialogue. So it's slightly more convenient than saving and loading. Otherwise, you will be saving and loading. You have to like learn which lines are gonna be playing, and trying to do the save and loading, like knowing the timing of how to do it. So we're gonna get out here. I'm fine with fine. And we're gonna go here towards this part.
Hey buddy, glad you made it. Unfortunately, they didn't bother to...
So there's a cool thing here. There's gonna be several enemies that are gonna show up here, several waves of enemies. But if I move in a certain position, these enemies are gonna everyone is gonna show up in this part. Otherwise, they will be running, showing up in random places, like in the other extreme of this room. Okay, give me a second here. See where this Lando is. So the other problem that happens here is that Lando gets stuck. His pathfinding gets stuck. So if I need to save and load there in order to free him, so to speak. Otherwise, he's gonna get stuck moving the same place over and over, and you cannot continue with the level. So that's what happened there. By doing a few saving and loading, I can just make him go when he's supposed to go. So this part, I'm gonna here. I need to activate these bulbs. I need to go inside this part. I can make this a little quicker by doing the wall running like this. And now we have to put a final code outside of this area. And again, the code never changes, so you know them on memory, you can just put it right away and finish this part. Now we can just escape this planet. There's one more thing left. But first of all, we have to go for this conversation. And once again, I stick my saber into the wall, and that's gonna skip most of the dialogue. And any leftovers of the dialogue, you can just skip it by using saving and loading, so it's pretty convenient. Alright, we have a storage section. The strat here is that you need to kill the guy in the middle first. Luckily for us, his head sticks out a little bit in the upper part, so you can land a headshot. And that makes that part very convenient. Alright, this level was quite the nightmare. One thing about this game is that there's not much RNG involved in the run, aside from like enemy behaviors and what have you. However, in this section, there's a huge section that involves a little bit of luck. And you're gonna see what I mean when we get there. But first we have to cross this path. I'm gonna have one important item here that I'm probably gonna introduce right now. And it's gonna be here. So, and I also need to mind trick this guy to open this door. And go here. So there's a lot when it's gonna happen here. There's a later sections, and I think I'm gonna take the time to introduce one of the main item in this speedrun, and an item that you only see in this game of the series. So in this game, you have a few items that you can interact with. You have like binoculars, for example. You have deployable turrets and stuff like that. There's another item that also is very important for this run, and it's this one over here. I'm going to show you when I get to the elevator. So this is called the secret run. The little floating ball over there. So you remember the very first movie, the scene where Luke is training with Obi-Wan, and Luke is like trying to deflect the shots blindfolded. Well, it's that little droid. And this game is supposed to be kind of a companion that can shoot a little extra shots and kill a few enemies. But we're gonna use it in the next level to do something very cool. And we're gonna skip a huge sections of the levels. So here, try to kill this guy. So that's gonna try to keep that in mind, because you're gonna be using those drones really often and very often in the rest of the run. Alright, so this is the RNG section. We have a few wins over here that we had to like try to jump over them in order to go to the next platform. However, the pattern that you get here is completely random. There's a few series of set patterns that happen here. Which one you're gonna get? That's completely luck. So what happens usually here in runs is that you get a really good pattern here, and you can just go right towards the end of the section. Otherwise, or in other cases, you have to be save as coming until you get a good pattern, and that can make you lose a ton of time. So a lot of runs go to die here. So this is the first encounter with a Dark Jedi. Since are the very weak ones, we can just use explosive there to kill them. It's way like more reliable than using a lightsaber, because the enemy's behaviors are really random. They can start like jumping around and doing silly stuff. I need to kill these guys to progress here. Here's another one. Once again, I'm gonna just throw him a grenade to his face, and that kills him like quickly. Unfortunately, it's only useful with the first tier enemies, like the weakest ones. You cannot do that, unfortunately, with the stronger ones. We had to actually use lightsaber. So there's gonna be a few lightsaber combat in this run. It isn't much, but the only ones that we see in the run are really important, and it's gonna be important to actually do the proper strats there. All right, once again, another score sections. Okay, let's try this like this. And we had to bring the little droid to a certain door in order to progress. But luckily, we can push him forward. So that's a plus compared to NT level where we had to follow Lando around. So what we're gonna do here is that try to destroy this mine so this little guy doesn't die, and we just push him forward, which is way faster than just waiting for this little droid to go to this door over here. Jump over here and make it closer to the door in order to that switch in order to open the door. Now, there's a really good strat here. I'm gonna use a force pull here in order to make a strat. I'm gonna push this guy forward, and then I'm gonna immediately push him back up. And it kind of functions like a like a platform, so to speak, because that allows you to get an extra height from the jump. So we used his body as a to get an extra boost there together. All right, so we talk about the drones. So this is what happens in this game. The drones, we can use them to climb up here, like for example like this. Because what happens is that if you jump, at the same moment that you let the drone spawn, it starts the drone starts orbiting beneath you, and if you know the pattern really well, you can like actually land over the drone and try to ride it, so to speak. And every single hop gives you a little bit of height or altitude, so you can use that in order to climb up. And we're gonna use it later to do another skip. The final one is one of the second hardest in the run. So let's see what happens. Well, we have enough time. That's gonna be later. This level is short. This is gonna be the introduction to the first boss fight in the run. And there's a cool start we can do here. One of the few sections where we use lightsaber combat. But not exactly in the way that you guys think it's gonna happen, because it's a little exploit we can do in this level. So we're gonna use our ability called saber throw, that, as the name implies, you throw your saber towards the enemies. We're gonna use it in the final level on any boss fight in order to do a little spamming, so to speak. You're gonna sit here. So the first thing we're gonna do in this fight, first of all, she's standing there, which is pretty convenient. I'm gonna go here, knock her down, and I'm gonna start spamming my saber throw to the floor. And what happens is that the saber goes back and forth between the floor and myself. So the boss is like right in the middle of that thing. So she takes a ton of damage there, and we can just make quick short work of her. Alright, so in this part, I killed him. Yes, I killed enemy. This is a skip we can do here. In this level, you're supposed to meet Luke Skywalker and do a few badass scenes. We're gonna skip that, because we can actually climb back up here. We don't have to activate this elevator like it's intended. We can just do the climbing there, and we skip a huge section of this level. Alright, so in this part, we're gonna try to not lose much HP here. So I'm gonna do this part like really. Actually, I'm gonna grab that freaking health there just to make it play safe. It's this one over here. So I jump over here, take a few damage, and here once again I'm gonna use the drone to enter the store. You are not supposed to open that door. Only enemies can. Another NPCs can actually open it. But the drone is considered a non-playable character in this game, so you can use it to like open doors, and that also is gonna become important later in a certain level. So that's pretty quite handy. Now, once again, there's a cycle here in the elevator that we're gonna just try to make quickly by once again using another seeker jump there. This one only takes 2 hops, and we can just grab these elevators. And the cycle of these elevators is why it can make you lose a ton of time, because you had to wait for this thing to go back up, for example, in order to go here to the end. But if you use the seeker jump there, you can just go straight to the end. All right, this level can be really scary. Health management is really important, because we're gonna do a few take a ton of fall damage. And also, some of the enemies can get really lucky and shoot you on the back. So I had to take this part. Okay, I want to do this cool jump. This cool jump is like really cool. Put the point in here and go here up. Now we go here, destroy these things, and we can just progress. Alright. I was best say just to not take full damage, and now we can continue.
Job done.
This is another corridor section. There's a lot of enemies that are gonna start blocking your way, so you gotta be careful. And here, there's an enemy in this part. The floor is lava pretty much. If you land on the floor, you can take a ton away. You can lose a ton of HP, so you gotta be careful there. You have to like land on the crates. And here, activate this, and we're gonna do another fall here. Something you can do here is try to land over that guy's head in order to like don't lose that much HP. And we strike here. Now, for the rest of this level, there's one thing that is going to be important. There's another part where we need to use saber combat. There's going to be a few Dark Jedis that we need to fight, but we're going to make... It's going to be really quickly because we have another power, which is called Force Speed. And unlike in other games where Force Speed allows you to go faster, in this game it's the opposite. It actually slows everything. Kind of like to try to make like the feeling that you have like super quick reaction time. But what actually happens is that it slows down everything, and we can use that in this fight, for example, to try to kill these bosses quickly, because you are the only one who is in that effect of slowing down, so you can just kill those enemies quickly. And when we start leveling up Force Speed, it becomes like really OP, and we're gonna use them for the final boss as well. Okay, so this is one of my favorite levels in the run. There's a shortcut you can do. You're supposed to go through these hallways while trying to avoid the laser, but you saw a little gap over there where you can just move through, and that skips like the whole, like, kind of like the labyrinth or puzzle, I guess. And that's makes that part really quickly. Now, that part is really important. I'm gonna be doing a series of jumps in this part. And every time I do a force jump, or I jump super high, I lose my force amount, which is like my mana in this game. It's like the bars that are in the bottom right corner of the screen. So you gotta be very careful here, not try to be very greedy with your spamming of your jumps, because we're gonna need that mana or that force at the end of this level in order to do one crazy jump here. So as I said before, Force Speed slows everything down, and that includes elevators. So we're gonna use exactly that to try to do an escape here. I'm gonna activate Force Speed, I'm gonna jump over this walker, and I can just go straight into this platform. This platform is moving up, and you're not supposed to catch it, but with Force Speed you can do it. Now, this part. So we gotta go there. You are supposed to come all the way back down here and activate a button and then go back up in order there. But, as I said before, we have one item important here, and it's our drones. So we're gonna do another secret climb here. And you can see there, the drone is spawning right below me and start like moving counterclockwise in this case. And I can just jump over that and do a little hops. And each little hop is making me go higher. Okay, let me check this here. There we go. So that's a good plan. The place that the drone spawns it can be a little bit random. So sometimes it pops up in the right side of your character, and when that happens, it's kind of hard for me to try to jump over the drone. Usually for me it's like when it spawns in the left side. That makes things way easier for me. So this enemy here, we just do a quick kill there, and we can just go here, grab the speed in order to go to the next part. Now there's a pretty cool gimmick that happens in this level. This is a stealth section. Like, they decided to put a stealth section here in this part. You're supposed to move around this kind of hangar without being spotted. So you're supposed to turn your lightsaber down and try to go very sneaky. But the good thing about this is that by using the straight jumping and jumping in certain parts, we're gonna skip all of this. But the stealth part is still important. So this guy can spot me, but if I wave my hand and I use my mind trick, he cannot see me. And also this officer over there. Those are the only two enemies that can actually like spot me there and trigger a game over. But since I mind trick them, they don't see me and I can just go straight to the end of the level. This level, once again, is like super huge. You don't do the jump, the climbing that I did there. And now we're into this level. So over here, once I can enter this cutscene, there's nothing major here. I only do enter the cutscene here to despawn the enemies that usually they normally are blocking your way there. Also, as I said before, you don't take damage here, so I can actually kill this guy without concerning about my health. And we can just keep going here. So it's even low there to skip that fate. That pretty much tells you that the cutscene is ending, and now we are inside the game. Alright, so in this part, I need to take control of a droid. Okay, and the guy's shooting at me. I guess I'm not gonna die, I have enough health there. I need to take control of a droid there. Which droid you pick up is completely random. So sometimes you get like the droid that's like in the furthest back, in the back. Or sometimes you are super lucky and get the one that you actually pull and can actually finish that part more quickly. Alright. So this level, there's not much going on here. There's a few things that can actually screw you over. This is the little hallway over here that it has a few interrogation droids. And if you get hit by one of these guys, you're gonna get drugged pretty much. Because that's what they had. They had like, it's like in the first movie, they had those needles things that can hit you. And in this game they do a little bit of damage over time. And they don't allow you to like force heal and stuff. So if you are super low in health in that part, it can be a pain in the butt. Try to go through that hallway, but yeah. We are fine in health, which is really rare in my case. Sometimes when I get here I'm really good paces. I'm very low in health and I usually die a lot here. So this is the last breather in the level, in the game. It's a little time to like rethink. So it's a little waiting and then we can continue. Now for the final part, there's a puzzle that's involved and we need to like to put a certain codes in a certain part. And it's a little bit of platforming involved as well, so there's supposed to be a communications room here, we're supposed to call in for reinforcements. And there's one over here that, honestly, doesn't look that practical at all. So, here we are. And one thing I can do here is try to do a boost with this gun over here. For some reason, if I do a boost like that and I start falling, I don't take that much fall damage when I land on the floor. And that's pretty useful for head management reasons. And now we're gonna go back up here. Oh, okay, I missed the jump there. I had to wait a little bit longer to do a full jump. Alright, so we put the codes down below. We need to now push the ones over here. This is one of my worst levels in the run because it's only indoor sections. So the movement here is like really hard to try to get correctly. Especially in first person. Oh yeah, I mentioned that I can transition between first person and third person. It doesn't matter which one you decide to do in the speedrun. Some people like to play in third person, some people like to play in first person. It doesn't matter which one. In my case, for me, first person is easier to navigate through indoor sections. I usually do third person mostly on outdoor sections because you can look around way more. Alright, this level, there's a huge skip coming up that involves me going to space, in a nutshell. We like to call it Spaceman. The name was coined by Cover Muffin, who I think is going to be hosting later today, so looking forward to it. And involves... Okay, so this door over here, you're supposed to go through here, but it's locked. So in order to move around, we need to go underneath the ship in order to like... and take a few elevators and stuff in order to go there, but one thing we can do here is like... there's a few hangars here that go to the space, and if we have enough good timing here, what we can do is that we can go outside the hangars, go from one hangar door to the other one by doing a series of movements. However, you gotta be careful because if you hit some areas of this part, there's a few death triggers. But if you do this jump like precisely, you can go to the other hangar and try to squeeze in before the door closes. And that trick is like, it's way harder than it looks. Alright, so we are now almost to the end of this level, and here is really important. This room is a nightmare. There's a guy with a rocket launcher that if I don't spot him quickly, he's gonna make... I'm gonna have a bad day. Okay, I knocked him down, so now we're fine. If you don't spot that guy, he's gonna start shooting rockets at you while you are opening the door, and you can like die a lot there. So now we are heading towards this fight. This is another fight where you're supposed to like kill these enemies in order to progress. And as I said before, force speed makes a huge difference here, because I'm the one that only says has everything slowed down. So usually in higher difficulties, when you use force speed, the enemy also uses force speed. So there's like no an advantage whatsoever. But in the easiest difficulty, you are the only one who has force speed on. So you can like use that to kill those enemies really efficiently with your lightsaber. So I entered the cutscene here once again to skip. This is like a puzzle that you had to do with Jan. But if by entering the cutscene, we can just go straight to the end here. And now we're gonna introduce a major skip in the run. So I talk about the secret runs, how... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do here. Also, I forgot I have my... I have my splits open, so you listen to the sound effects of the gold splits. And this level, there's an important thing that happens. I said that the drones can actually count an NPC. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna make a drum, click for the store, and swing here. Alright, I messed up here. Oh no. Oh really? I messed up here? Okay. So what happened here is that I need to like open the door, but apparently since I quick save here, I cannot do this anymore. Oh yeah, I cannot do it. Okay. We're kinda screwed. So what happened there is that if I use a drone and I push forward, or I can make it clear through the store. And this is gonna trigger the end level of the run. And that skips the whole level in this section. And since I unfortunately messed it up here, I'm gonna just go straight to the next level. I don't miss anything there, so we can just go straight to the next level here. So what usually happens is that trick doesn't work if you quick save in the middle of a level, and that's what happens. Alright. So now we are heading towards like the final level of the final 3 levels. This one is like really it's pretty cool to try to speedrun. It's like you have to go from point A to point B, and it only involves using a straight jumping, which is pretty cool if you are trying to grind this level out. The important tricky thing here is that there's a few like non-shallow water that can actually make you go down, and it's a huge time loss because you have to like swimming is like really slow in this game, so you have to be very careful. Alright, so here we go here and trying to land here. Like all that water over there, if you land in that water, it's a huge time loss because you have to swim back up, and it's like really it can be really bad. Alright, so in this jump over here, and we are fine, good to go now. There's an enemy here that can screw you over. This ATST over here. Sometimes if you are close to his feet, and he can stomp you, or he can stomp you, and the hitbox is like way bigger than it looks. Alright, in this level, and so here you're supposed to go inside an ATST and move forward and when to move around, but of course the ATST moves like super slow, so we just go on foot, and it's just a straight path that you can just do by using a straight jumping like this, and you can just go straight to the end. One thing to keep notice here is that I need to conserve my force, because at the end of this level there's a few too long jumps that we had to do, and it's like over here. Okay. Nice. Alright, we're almost done. Second to last level, and this level is pretty short, but there's one thing that can makes you go fast here or finish this level quickly, and it's again, it involves a little bit of RNG. So we're gonna head towards a room that are gonna be a bunch of enemies fighting, and you're supposed to kill 2 enemies here in order to progress with the level. which is this one over here. I'm gonna kill this one too. And by killing those two guys, a sequence where this guy's gonna shoot a rocket here is gonna break this window and I can continue. What happens there is that sometimes the allies that are fighting there, they can get like super lucky and kill those enemies for you. And oh my god, when that happens, it's like really a god, a godsend because you can finish this level, like this section super quickly. All right, now we are heading towards the end. We are almost to the end here. There's another skip we can do here. There's a cutscene here. When you get out of this cutscene, you have to fight two enemies in order to unlock the final end level trigger. But if we enter the cutscene, the end level trigger is gonna show up like this. Also, there's the final boss, this guy, this purple dinosaur. And we can just go straight to the end. Alright. So time is coming up. It's gonna be as soon as I kill the boss. And here I guess I can introduce what we're gonna do exactly. So even if you guys have played multiplayer, you know that the red saber, or the red style of the saber, the strong style, is like really lethal. And we're gonna use it here to do a one quick kill. And if we are lucky enough, we can just kill the boss with just one vertical swing. And also, as I said before, we're gonna use force speed while doing the attack. And that is gonna the reason why we can do the quick kill, otherwise the boss is gonna start moving around. So let's see what happens. Okay, I didn't get the cycle here, that's fine. So I'm gonna be standing and right over him, I'm gonna activate my force speed and then do a vertical attack. And this, okay, I didn't get it. Then I'm gonna go for the backup like this, and there it is. Time! That makes short work on the boss, because as I said before, force speed really makes things broken in the boss fights, or enemies in general. So yeah, there we go. Excellent run. I made a missteps there. I couldn't, maybe was able to make a skip, but at least I have a backup, so that's completely fine. It's marathon luck, I guess. So yeah, that's it. I had nothing else to add, so thank you for having me. It's been really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the marathon. A big shout out to the Jedi 2 community, very cool guys. I'm not currently actively running this game right now, but if you are interested in running this game, just hit me up. I can give you directions and stuff. Anyways, I'm heading out. So thank you for watching again, and enjoy the rest of the marathon. Bye.
What a great run. Thank you so much for running, alnak. That was awesome. Really, really enjoyed it. So next up, we are going to have a Sekiro all bosses and mini bosses run. Hope you guys are ready for that. And